Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome to the Live Lounge. This is so special. I have been very excited about this one. And I'll tell you why, because there's a special organization called Susan G. Komen. Everybody's heard of them. And in fact, we will be touching on, there's a lot of things that if you've ever had anybody that's dealt with breast cancer, and I think it's probably the reason why I'm having trouble even starting this off, is because we've all had somebody in our lives. My biological mother was one, but there's some alarming statistics, and 44,000 people, I believe, is the number. But it's a miraculous number of men and women. A lot of people think it is strictly a female disease. Men can develop breast cancer as well. But there is a special set of people that got together and did a song. And we're going to get in with the producer, the writer. And in fact, we had Rita Wilson on, was going to be on, and Rita had to cancel last minute. So we're going to, which I'm completely okay with. Not that I think Rita's, but I'm okay with the fact that what we have here is a good group of ladies and a lot of talent in the room. You're going to be completely impressed with what we have lined up tonight, because it is a very special two that we have. And actually, I have knew one for since she was 15, an incredible talent. Her name is Erin Kinsey. And then a name that obviously you're going to know throughout country music and just music in general is Victoria Shaw. When Victoria comes up, I want you to look at all the plaques in her room. It's ridiculous. I mean, my office, I've got plaques, but not like that. It's crazy. But I'm excited. Let's talk to them, and let's bring them up, and let's talk to them, because this is what we've waited on. So let's get them in here. I don't like that configuration. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi. Good.
There we go. Hold on, Victoria.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Was I muted?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had you muted by accident because I'm all thumbs.
It's all good.
Okay. I'm not a fan of this configuration. I will say that. I'm glad we're so relaxed that we can figure out which configuration. I like the one I had earlier, and it won't go back to that one. So there we go. Rock and roll. That's what I wanted. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. Now everybody's seeing Victoria's room. Look at all this. This is ridiculous. We were just talking about this before we went on, because in a name in country music, which Victoria and I have friends in common, but I never had met her until just a few minutes ago. And I'd always heard about Victoria Shaw. I mean, and obviously you can see in the background, she's very well decorated and very well respected in country music. So it's an honor to have you on here, Victoria.
I'm so happy to be here, Scott. Thank you.
Believe me. Erin Kinsey, she is a wonderful talent from Rockwall, Texas. And I've known her since she was 15. I knew when I saw her play the very first time there was something special. And Victoria and I shared that earlier, and we're going to get into that. But we're here for a very special cause. Susan G. Komen is a very near and dear to probably everybody who watches this, who's had some form of someone in their lives. And I saw the statistic where there really isn't anybody that can't get, it's almost like COVID. Kind of no one can really go through life now without knowing somebody who's not been exposed to COVID, but we're kind of in that same area with breast cancer, men and women. And everybody who's been a part of this song, and we'll get into the depths of the song. Victoria, I'll go to you first. Erin, Erin's going to perform the song toward the end here. I have a clip of the actual video. Victoria, get me started on how all this came about. I know it was a writing session between you and Erin and Jody, but kind of walk us through it.
Well, I'll interject anytime, Erin, please. We had a writing appointment, and Erin and I write a lot together and have worked together for years. But I invited another friend of mine named Jody Marr, who's actually had major success in pop music. And I thought the three of us would get together well. And you don't know what you're going to write on those days. But Erin came over, and something was kind of, I could tell her vibe, you know, there was something going on that wasn't good. And go ahead, you go ahead, Erin, tell her, and then I'll interject.
Yeah. So, well, first off, I was very nervous walking into that right to begin with, even if nothing had been going on, being with two absolute legends. And I mean, again, I will say Victoria is just the best. Jody is the best. And, you know, that day was magic. But I also walked into that right after I found out that my manager, Amy Fish, who is somebody Scott, Victoria, and we all just love. I found out that she just went into remission for her battle with breast cancer that had been the entire year prior, that she kept quiet. So pretty heavy heart walking into that right. And obviously Victoria kind of noticed something was off, and we got to talking about the news I had just found out. So something that was pretty magical, which, you know, Victoria told me, is that she had a title that she had been saving for months.
Well, I didn't even know where it was going to land. I had this title in my, you know, sometimes you write down book, you know, lines or titles, and I'd had this title that said, "Someday Pink will just be a color," because I think I had seen a Susan G. Komen commercial, and my, you know, songwriter brain was like, someday Pink won't have to stand for that. It will just be a color. And I thought, well, that's an interesting line, but I didn't know where or when I'd write something like that. And then this day appeared.
Yeah. So as they say in the songwriter world, like, the song was definitely in the room. And Jody had, not herself, but very closely been affected by breast cancer as well. So her sister, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we all were just, it was a very, you know, good transition to just slide into writing the song and writing all of the feelings that I was feeling. And sometimes in writes, you know, you're making up stories that you wish happened or you hope happened someday. But this was a day where I was truly just saying things I wish I could have told Amy during her battle, things that I wanted to tell her now, but I was in a session. And I remember, Victoria, one of the first things we decided is this is going to be a song of hope, that people fighting any kind of cancer have.
They don't need a maudlin song. They don't need a, you know, the tearjerker. They need something inspiring and uplifting and hopeful. You know, they're going through enough. So that was our goal, was to make it uplifting and hopeful and, you know, positive.
Yeah, I think we accomplished it too. I'm pretty proud of how we got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we sat back and we had this song. We brought Amy came over later on that afternoon and burst into tears, but happy tears, you know, when she heard the song. And she just said, I can imagine people going through chemo and doing something and hearing the song and making them feel better, you know, like inspiring them. And that was everything we had tried to accomplish, you know. And then we kind of sat on the song for a little bit, because there's not a lot of women in country music that, you know, were on radio at the time last year, and didn't really know what to do with it. And then during the summer, we kind of safely, COVIDly safely, had gotten together, Amy, Erin, and I, and just started talking about that song again. And I couldn't get it out of my heart, and neither could Erin. And I just said, we need to get this out. This needs to be like an event single. And at that moment, I go, who's the CEO of Susan G. Komen? Everybody get their phones out and start Googling. And Erin found her number, which was hard.
Yeah,
right. So I called right there and then. They were there. I called and I left a message for the CEO, a woman named Paula Schneider. And I said, hi, I'm Victoria Shaw. And I know I only have a few seconds to talk on this. I don't usually say this on a machine, but I'm a really successful songwriter. So Google me, so you know I'm not a crazy person. But I've co-written a song that I think might raise a lot of awareness and money for your foundation, and I'd love to send it to you. And like the next morning or that night, they got right back to us, you know. And one thing led to another, and I said, look, I have this idea for this, you know, small but powerful group of women singing the song, and I think we can, you know, raise, like I said, money and awareness. And about 8 weeks to that phone call, this single came out, because we were trying to get it out in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But it was the fastest train I have ever been on in my life, but it just couldn't be stopped. Everybody said yes. Everybody jumped on board and just donated their love and their time. And it was amazing. However, I will say to us, it's just the launch because October, yes, that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but breast cancer doesn't know that. It doesn't stop after October, doesn't stop in a pandemic. So it was the launch of the song, but we, feel it's going to have a long life and just beginning to get out there.
Well, I mean, the list of people. Now, how did the list come about? Did you just start calling in? Because, I mean, Queen Dolly is on this. And to me, when you go start bringing Queen Dolly in, I mean, I could say shit gets real. Because, I mean, when you start being able to call in Dolly and Monica and Jordan Sparks and Sarah Evans, I mean, you start bringing in these big heavy hitter names who can sing the paper off the walls. I mean, I would assume, and Rita Wilson, who and I know Rita is a survivor herself. That has to be something where you go, okay, let me send you this song. And then do people just clamor to go, yeah, I want on board. I want on board. I want on board. Is that how it went?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Especially Dolly. Well, Rita was the first one I had reached out to because she's a friend of mine.
Right.
And because she's a breast cancer survivor, a songwriter, a singer. I just, it seemed like a no-brainer. And a wonderful spokesperson for that. But Dolly was pretty much the second person, one of the closest people to this, right from the beginning to we reached out to, and that I have to say it came from the CEO of the Susan G. Komen Foundation. She has a best friend who, a dear friend who's the director of all of Dolly's movies on Netflix. It was a really wild thing.
Wow.
So it circled back to me, and I just called their, the number of the local people here who work with her, and they got back to me immediately and said, Dolly loves the song, and she's going to cut it in 4 days. And basically, I was like, we haven't even cut the real track yet. He goes, well, she's cutting it. So we had to send her the demo, which was the same speed, the same click, and then fly her vocals over. But so that was amazing. And then Amy had her connection. Erin, right?
Yeah, Amy had a connection with Kevin to Monica's team.
Right.
He was the next person brought on, and I mean, both such heavy hitters.
And one thing we did know is that we didn't want it to be one genre or one, we wanted it to be diverse in music, not just color, but also in diversity of music. That was the most important thing to me. I want somebody from pop. I want somebody from country. I want somebody from that. To me was what really would inspire people from every place to listen to the song.
It makes total sense because it's kind of like what you said with, breast cancer knows no boundary.
Right.
It doesn't matter what music you listen to,
Right.
whether it be R&B or country or whatever. Everybody knows that cancer has no boundary.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that you were able to get somebody from all the different genres to be represented.
We felt very, that was an important part of that, I think. And, you talked about men getting breast cancer too. That's why we have some pictures of men in the video too.
Right.
The numbers aren't as big, but I mean, it's still, there's death. It's like 500, I think it's like 2,000 or 3,000 men a year get diagnosed, and about 400 or 500 men a year pass away.
Oh.
Women, 1 in every 8 is going to be diagnosed, and about 400,000 women a year will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and about 40 to 43,000 women will pass every year.
That's the number I remembered. I couldn't remember. I knew it was tied into 47. That's way too many for anything. So,
and it is not preventable, but we can definitely cut the number. Erin, you explain what's going on with the posts.
Yeah, well, what we learned after working with Susan G. Komen and being on the calls, just learning so much about, their foundation, is that the best way to, have a better outcome and an easier, I mean, not that any fight is easier, but
to save lives.
Early detection is the key. Yeah, to save lives is early detection. So what's crazy is that, I mean, on Victoria's page and my page, but also on, the heavy hitters, Dolly and Rita and all of their pages, we've seen all these comments that are like, this just reminded me to go get my mammogram. This is, the last thing that pushed me to go get it done this year. I wasn't going to, but now I am. And so, I mean, Victoria and I were talking the other day, and even though we hope the song raises money, it's already served its purpose. It's literally saved lives. It's caused women to go get tested and checked out when they wouldn't have. So
it really has raised awareness in a lot of ways because, believe it or not, I mean, being from Texas, Aaron and I, we know the Susan G. Komen run was just something that happened. We saw that on television. I was so familiar because I spent 20 years of my radio career in Dallas. That was just a part of our thing. Radio was always a part of, I knew Susan G. Komen years and years ago, but you believe it or not, there are folks we get further out that may not know and may not realize, hey, look, you get inside a certain age group, just like men, you get inside a certain age group, you need to have that screening done.
And what we've learned, Scott, is that age group is actually lowering. That women used to be not to your 40s to get a mammogram.
Right.
And now they're saying, possibly late 20s, 30s. It depends on your genes, and what family. Yeah. It's really interesting. And the thing also that we learned about Susan G. Komen, because there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful foundations out there that put so much money towards medicine, which Susan G. Komen has donated, I think, in total, like $1 billion to science. But their focus is keeping women alive now. And so their focus is making sure that women have a place to call and go, I don't even know how to navigate this insurance. I don't know how to get to chemo because my kids need help. I can't leave my kids at home. They're going to help you arrange that. I can't go. I don't have a car ride to chemo. They're going to set up a car ride. They really hold your hand. They're your advocate. They're your friend. We've learned so much about the Susan G. Komen and what they do. It's a little different than some other foundations because they are right now thinking of the here and now. How do we help the women here and men here and now? Wow. Yeah. But and people, I bet you don't even know. I didn't realize that they handled all that. It's almost like listening to, like what they do for the parents at St. Jude, where they don't have to worry about anything. And I love that. And I didn't know that. That's something I learned. But that's so neat because it's such a trying time. It's such a trying time. And I can't even pretend like I know, but I mean, I can imagine it is such a trying time. There's so much going on in your mind. You're not feeling well, especially if you have a family. So you're thinking about your husband or your wife. Or if you're a single mom, imagine you're a single mom, or there's, you're pregnant and you got diagnosed with, breast cancer. This is where you call Susan G. Komen and they would help you find the sources of where, what would best be for you to go to. It's a wonderful organization full of wonderful, passionate, lovely people, and we've had a wonderful experience with them. It has been amazing. And I have scrolling here on the bottom, you can donate at Komen.org. I have that rolling there, so make sure that you go over there and any little bit helps. So don't feel like you have to do. If you can just give a little bit, you hear all the things now that you know what they can do. Believe me, it is definitely an organization that you want to be a part of. I think it's so neat that you had all these people that wanted to just jump on and be a part of it. I mean, because just having those names. I want to play a clip. I only was able to get just a really quick clip of the video. Let's dig into the video for just a second. So when everybody recorded their parts, did they shoot their videos at the same time, or did that come back later? You want to tell them, Erin, or do you want me?
Well, I mean, I know you'll probably be able to fill in even more holes than I can, but I know that most of them had to go back in the studio and get videos, which, I mean, just also speaks to how much people were willing to do for this project. Like,
I think a lot of people shot it at the studio at the time, but Dolly or somebody did it a couple of days later, but everybody pretty much did it on their phones, Scott. We had to tell them, put it to this setting, because we couldn't travel. Otherwise, I would have gone all over to meet with them and do the production, one-on-one. But, we cut the track in Nashville. We did the string section. Sarah Evans came in actually all masked up, and I did her in person, but the rest were all done virtually. And then, just send us video footage and we'll figure it out. We'll put it together like a puzzle. And they all did, and they all turned their phones, and it's pretty amazing. And I can't believe this was shot on phones. Because the quality is really, really good. Yeah, so let's go to the, as they say on television, let's go to the clip.
When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about where pink is just enough. all the colors.
It's
Wow. Just in 30 seconds. I mean, I've heard that song 1,000 times now, and in 30 seconds, that still does that to you. And that is a mark of just absolute. I mean, it's a mark of genius. I mean, it really is.
As Aaron knows, that's the ultimate goal as a songwriter, is to touch people or give them goosebumps and, you know, all that stuff, because I'm a fan of music myself. We all have songs that mean that.
Right.
That video, if people want to see the full video, they can go to komen.org/pink. That'll send them to the video, to all the places to stream it. So komen.org/pink.
It is an amazing thing. It's an amazing song, and we're gonna let Aaron sing the song, but this should not make you nervous, Aaron, and I'll tell you why. Because you did this at the Opry in front of on television, because I watched you on TV do it. But this should not make you nervous to do it here, because you did it on a much bigger stage in front of a lot more people. So, and you're in front of all the people that love you. So you're in good hands.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you watching that too. That was a magical night.
Okay, before you get started, give me a brief synopsis of how that felt, because that was your very first time at the Opry, and I've been to the Opry probably a dozen times. I sat in the back. I took Amy that one time, and we all went and we sat in the church pews in the back, and it's just one of those experiences that when that curtain goes up, and Victoria has probably been there a million times, but when there's nothing like, and being the radio nerd that I am, that's a radio show.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's a radio show. It's been a radio show for, 90 years. And the nerd in me, when that curtain goes up and the crowd starts, and you hear those guys talking, it is really cool. And just the flow they have, and it's just the ambiance of the room. Nothing beats that feeling.
We were very lucky that they just started letting an audience in, because it would have been I think it would have been really scary if it was packed, and it would have been really weird if it was empty. So we were very lucky. There was about 1,000 people there, or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. I think about
spread out. So it was a little less for you, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I couldn't imagine.
It was a little weird to only see people's eyes, but take what you can get.
Yeah, because everybody's in mask.
Yeah.
For me, it was not only being at the Opry, which has been a dream of mine forever, just like every country music girl singer ever. But it was also being next to Victoria and Rita Wilson, and then also for it being the Opry Goes Pink night. Like, it was just everything about it. It couldn't have been more special.
But you had a great lineup of people. I mean, let's see, you had Little Big Town on there. And it was so nice. And I watched it from beginning to end, but it was really neat just to see the stage be pink. And I mean, I know they've done that for a lot of years, and the Opry has been big supporters of Susan G. Komen and just the pink idea. And it's so neat to see. But well, let's hear the song, and I'm going to take Victoria and I out of here. And Aaron, this is all you. We'll come back as soon as you're done, but
okay.
This is your time to shine.
Okay, perfect. Someday, pink will just be a color, not a ribbon to remember a best friend or a mother. And someday, you won't have to put a wig on, and a baseball cap will just be a hat, not something to hide under, 'cause your hair is gone. And some days coming any day. You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about about when pink is just another color? Someday your time will be your own time. No waiting rooms or doctor's news that makes you wanna cry. And someday we're gonna have a party, we'll pop pink balloons with people who know love can be an army. And Sunday's coming any day. You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about when pink is just another color. Ooh, just another color. Someday is coming any day. You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, you gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about when pink is just another color. Ooh, just another color.
Man.
Thank you.
I love that. I mean, that was it. That was a great capper, man. I watched. I know you couldn't see, but Victoria's doing this back and I'm kind of doing the same thing. We're just sitting there listening to you, but I mean, you guys did exactly what the word, what it accomplished. I mean, you did exactly everything you set out. And I mean, that is just amazing from top to bottom. But you got people that were listening. But you had people, Mike Rogers said that he was watching from Curb. He was watching. There's people that thought this is amazing, guys. You had so many folks that was listening, and Aaron, that speaks volumes for you. So
I mean, it's definitely a song I'm proud of. I will play it anytime you want to hear it.
Absolutely. Victoria, I got to tell you, thank you for coming on here.
Oh, my pleasure. This was fun.
Hey, anytime you guys are always welcome. But it's kind of neat to watch. I mean, because I'm sure you've seen a lot of artists come and go, but to watch it, it's kind of like the movie The Devil Wears Prada, when they were bringing the merchandise through, and Meryl Streep sitting there looking at it, and she does, they're like saying, oh well, she reacts, and if it's bad, she turns. It was like watching you, but I knew that you've probably seen so many people, but to get this reaction out of you watching Aaron sing, that right there to me is probably just the stamp of approval to get you to smile. And
I was thoroughly enjoying her.
You were, I know, but I watched because I was drawn in anyway. I mean, I'd say, but it was cool. I had fun watching you because you probably heard the song a million times, piecing the thing together, and you can still sit there and go back and forth. And it was cool to watch you do that.
Well, that's nice. I love working with her, and I'm sure there's a little bit of that mom feeling about her too. It's just, you can't help it. She's just.
Exactly, because it's like we watched her grow up.
Totally.
I mean, we watched her grow up, and it's kind of fun.
She all grown up now.
She's all grown up, but her parents are good people. I've met her dad, and I keep telling her, her little sister looks like just something that come out of the copier, looks just like her.
Yeah.
And so armed and dangerous, I told her, I said, you get to watch that little sister, because I'm sure the boys are already knocking on the door and bugging her dad. So that's why I wouldn't have been a father to daughters. I'm glad I got 2 boys, and I'm so glad, because I'd have been left the shotgun sitting by the front door. I would not have been a good father to daughters, because I'd have been Mr. Protective. I'm sure Don is too, but I'm sure Mr. Protective. I couldn't have done that.
Oh, Lord knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know where Don is at all times.
Right.
Well, guys, thank you so much for doing this. And this is going to, like I said, this will live forever on our sites, all the Alpha Media people who carried this. And thank you so much to everybody who was a part of this, especially the folks at Susan G. Komen who made this possible when we started talking about it. And I'm just glad that we were able to make this happen. It's sad that Rita couldn't be on here. I was really
she wanted to. She did. She's. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I mean, I think there was just a conflict that happened. Last minute.
It was so last minute. Yeah, absolutely. It was very, very much last minute.
Yeah.
Because they were looking to reschedule. They wanted another day. They still wouldn't be able to do it. And I think maybe next, like, we can come around to maybe in the after just first quarter, if Susan G. Komen needs a push or something, maybe we could try to
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Sarah,
Great.
we could get Sarah and get and get Rita and you guys back on again. So
That'd be
maybe we could work that out, maybe February or something. So we could try to do it again.
Yeah, because February has National Cancer Awareness. Yeah.
Why don't we shoot for February and I will go ahead and start that ball rolling, and let's try to do that, because I would love to have Sarah and Rita on to talk about the other parts of it, and then maybe we can see how all this kind of works out. I think this was fun though.
Thank you. Can I just say, for anybody who's going to search or go to Komen.org/pink, you'll go straight to the video. But if you go to YouTube without that, if you put in Pink, you're going to get the artist Pink. So make sure you put in like Dolly Parton Pink or Rita Wilson Pink, or only those keywords, and then the video will pop up.
And we'll get the party started.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll end up in a completely different area of not that she's not feeling it.
Or if you're so inclined, you can buy it on iTunes and send it to a friend. We'd love the purchase,
Yeah.
And 99 cents or $1 would be great.
And tell them all the ways they can do that. Make sure people know how they can actually purchase
Well,
this.
they can go to any place they buy, digital music, Amazon,
Right.
iTunes, any place, and just put in, again, Dolly Parton Pink, Monica Pink. It will come up easier.
Right.
And you can always gift music to somebody, because everybody's been touched by breast cancer. Whether it be somebody that they worked with or somebody in their family. And just send it as just to say I'm thinking of you, and keep going. I mean, it's a song of encouragement and love and hope.
Strength.
Yeah, strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now we're gonna get off subject real quick. Victoria, what's your favorite song that you've done? You have look at all that crap in the back. I want you to look at all that crap in the back. Pick one that's your favorite. Look at her. She's like, well, okay, I have to look. Excuse me, I have so many. Hold on.
It's really hard. I mean,
That's asking you to pick your kids, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, it is. I mean, the river obviously has a big meaning for me that I wrote with Garth. But I love The Way You Love Me. I won the ACM award for, so that was cool. She's Every Woman. I mean, I had a pop song with Ricky Martin and Christina Aguilera. Every one of those is a really amazing milestone in my life, and I don't take anything for granted. So, but I would say I'm probably most known for The River, and I love The Way You Love Me, which that's okay with me. I'm really proud of them.
Well, absolutely, you should be proud of all of it. I mean, it's quite an accomplishment. But that's what I said. I think a lot of people who are watching don't even realize the value of having somebody like you involved in a project like this. So, I mean, it's very, very special. And I'm sure Erin could speak volumes of how much help you've been to her.
She's
yeah.
When we work together, she's seen me be, just the way I am. I used to work with Hillary Scott, when I developed Lady Antebellum, but even before that, Hillary was 15, 16, 17. And it's this kind of producer, mother, cheerleader, psychiatrist thing,
Right.
It's intense, right?
Well, you have to lower the boom when you need to. You know, you have to kind of, okay, I need you to do this. Almost be parental, but it's like, I'm doing this for your own good. It's like, you don't understand this, but I'm doing this for your own good right now. You'll understand it later. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Well, it's hard to argue with anything, you know, once you have a song with Dolly on it. I don't think I'm ever going to question anything again.
That's right.
I wanted to get her for Christmas, so I thought, a song with Dolly and Monica and Jordan.
I'm thinking that's good, but I'm also as I think about for Erin, I mean, this is the big this is a step in a career that I think is just, and Victoria will agree, this is a step that's just getting started.
Absolutely.
So you're well working on a being a name, and I think we're on the verge, and it's so cool to get to be on this side of it. So that way, when they, interview me when I'm old, and I can go, I remember when.
Oh, God.
And Victoria's going to do the same thing.
I remember when I wrote with Taylor Swift, and her mom would drop her off at my office at 14 years old. So, you never know when those moments are, but I'm more aware of them now. Meeting Erin, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And, it's cool. Erin, you should tell people where your social media is, if you don't mind.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, you'll see my music, but you also see my dog, so you definitely want to go there. My Instagram,
Chewy.
Yes, Chewy, he's the best. I had to leave him in Texas for a couple weeks, and I can't wait to go home to him. But my Instagram is at Erin Kinsey TX, so ErinKinsey, and then just TX. And then my Facebook is Erin Kinsey Official.
Yes.
Yep.
Soon to be, everybody's going to be jumping on board. So get on the Erin train while you can. Yay!
Oh, you can jump on at any point.
There you go. Hey, I've been on board a long time. Everybody has to file to the back. They're getting in behind me. They ain't getting in front of me. All right, guys, thank you so much for doing this. Have a wonderful night, and have a very Merry Christmas and safe travels. Wear your masks, and let's get out from under this so we can get back to having normal music again.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I told somebody the other day, I said, I may cry at my first concert. Because
I definitely will.
I mean, I honestly, I spend so much time as Victoria. I mean, you guys, we spend so much time at concerts and spending time with artists and doing those things and going to see the art being performed. And the number one thing that most of the artists have said is that they miss the contact with a fan and being able to share the music. Now, granted, everybody's been able to get albums put together because they've been able to safely put things together. They've been at home for a year. So, but man, I could guarantee I probably will cry the first concert I go to, just being able to see live music again.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed we can do that in the summertime. That's what they're saying. Summer 2021. I'm hoping.
Me
Wear
too.
a mask, wash your hands. All right.
I'm doing. And
Thank you guys. Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wasn't that fun? God almighty, that was so much fun. We're so blessed to get to do things like this and get a chance to visit with people of this caliber. Talent coming up. Erin especially, and Victoria, my goodness, the lists of artists that she's worked with has been amazing. But guys, I want to thank everybody who's been a part of this, all the Alpha stations that have been on here, that's gone all over the country. And thank you very much for doing this. This is a very special broadcast. Make sure if you get an opportunity, you can donate at Komen.org. But if you can, like Victoria said, if you have an opportunity to go buy the song, it's the best money you'll ever invest. You can, like she said, you can gift this song to someone. The song is so special, and it means so much. And it touched a lot of lives, and you just don't know the value until you can't. It's hard to put a value on a great song. And I think this song really spoke to a lot of people. So I'm very happy to be a part of this and get a chance to meet Victoria and get a chance to see Erin again. But I'm glad you guys were a part of this. this was a very special one for me. But this will obviously live on our YouTube channel. It will live. I'm going to make sure that Susan G. Komen gets a copy of this, so this could live at komen.org as well, so people can know the story. I think it's very important. So next week we're gonna be back. It's the last one of the year. Kaylee Hammock will be our guest next week, and she's a lot of fun. Fiery Redhead. If you don't know who she is, you got to look that name up, because I can assure you she is a fun little storyteller, great little talent, and I definitely I'm looking forward to having her on the show. So that's next Tuesday night, the last live lounge of the year, and then we'll be firing back on all cylinders again, starting back in January. And we've got a full year. I mean, we've got people that are wanting to do the show, and it's because of guys like you who jump on and say thank you and who have been a part of this. I thank each and every one of you, because we couldn't do it without you. And we've been doing this 8 months, and we've had some great names on here. And people want to be a part of this because we love the music. We love the passion. And we all have a passion for music. That's why we're here. So see you back here next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. For another live lounge. Have yourself a wonderful night, and thank you for being a part of it.